Last week I told you that my #1 time management tip was time blocking. Well, I have a confession to make. That was actually only half true. You see, time blocking is only half of the technique. The other half is a physical to-do list. These really aren't separate entities because the physical to-do list pairs with a time block schedule, and that each block of time corresponds with one of the items on my to-do list. So they go together. Now, why a physical daily to-do list? I do use a digital system for managing all of my tasks. First it was OmniFocus, then it was Things, and now it's Roam. Either way though, no matter what you use, I do use a system to keep track of everything, because I can't keep track of things that need to happen a year from now in my head, and using a paper planner for keeping track of all the various projects I'm involved with would just be nuts. I couldn't do it. So if I have that, why do I use a physical to-do list? Well, it's very simple. I'm finicky. I like to optimize all of my task management systems. I like to get in there and finagle with all the details and try to make it as perfect as possible so I don't waste any time in the system, so it's as efficient as possible. The problem is, in doing that, I'm wasting time. I don't have to do that in the middle of my workday. I want to be able to just look at a list of tasks and know, okay, this, that's what needs to be done this day. So what I do now is in my daily wrap up and planning for the next day, I'll go through all that projects that one time throughout the day. I'll update it, and then I'll write down what needs to be done on an index card. I started doing this a year ago and I haven't looked back ever since. I can just pull out the index card. I know exactly what I want to work on. As soon as I finish one thing off, I don't need to go into the task manager to figure out what needs to happen. I just need to look at the index card and hop onto the next item. It's great. Now, I recently upgraded this system. I'm no longer using just plain old cheap index cards. I am now using the analog system by Ugma. They ship you all of these custom printed cards with bolded task lists on them, as well as this wonderful dock where you can place your daily task list right in front and just have it out in front of you all day long. It is great. I love it. It's expensive, but you want to know what? It gives me a little bit of a joy when I look at it every day, and it keeps me nice and focused. So it's a win-win. A full review of how I use the system will be coming up on this channel probably within the month, so keep your eye out. Now let's talk about the daily task list itself. What does it entail? Well, how I plan it was largely influenced by one of my favorite productivity books of all time, Gary Keller's The One Thing. This is the only productivity book that I have read more than once, and I highly recommend it. Once again, a full review of this will be coming up shortly. Basically, it amounts to this. What's the one thing you can do to make the next task easier? What's the one next thing that you can do to better accomplish your goal? Now for me, depending on the day, I ask that of myself in 3 or 4 areas of my life. During work days, I ask myself, what is the one thing that I have to do next for rescue time? What is the one thing I have to do next for Signum? And what is the one thing I have to do next for this YouTube channel? Today, the one thing was recording this video. Then, depending on the day, I ask myself, what is the one next thing that I can do to have a better relationship with my family? These become the first 3 or 4 items listed on my index card. Those are my priorities for the next day. They are the things that I want to get done above all else. After that, I have a handful of slots left over. I'll fill these in with other tasks that can happen next. So going back to the YouTube video, I say today that my one thing for today was I need to get this video recorded. After that, maybe the next thing is create the A cut of this video. I'll also add some other tasks that need to get done for rescue time, and that's my task list for the day. Depending on how empty the card is after that, I'll add a couple of meetings because those are low-hanging fruit and it just feels good to cross something out. So there you go. It's really that simple. Just a physical daily to-do list. Doing this paired with my time block schedule means that throughout the day, I don't need to look at my calendar. I don't need to look at my project management software. I can just look at my time block schedule and my index card and say, hey, okay, this is what needs to happen next, or I just finished something, here's what I can do next. No more juggling through tasks, no more getting trapped in the software and just wasting time organizing things and better optimizing my systems, because it's just a time waste. I limit myself to doing that just once a day, and then possibly a little bit more deeper review on the weekends. Going along with trying to optimize that system, I'm always looking at improving my own system, so I'd love to hear, what do you use? Do you use a physical to-do list? Do you use an app like OmniFocus or Things? How do you keep track of what needs to be done? What do you think of this? Do you think writing out the tasks that you want to get done the next day will be helpful to you? If you didn't see the time block video yet, it's linked up here above in a playlist of all my other productivity and time management videos. Otherwise, there's some fun ones over here. I'd love if you check them out. Until next time, bye.